Hi, today we're going to be learning about counting by twos, adding and subtracting twos, as well as counting pairs of objects. We're going to go over a number of learning outcomes, have some explicit instruction, some guided practice, and then we will review what we've learned. There are a number of learning outcomes. Number one, numbers relate to each other and can be partitioned in a variety of ways. For example, 8 is 2 more than 6 and 2 less than 10. 2. Skip counting helps develop an understanding of number relationships, helps develop number sense, and greater mathematical power and flexibility. Number 3. There are patterns in numbers that can be discovered by counting in different ways. Number 4. Addition and subtraction are related, with subtraction being the inverse of addition. Number 5. Skip counting by twos is the same as counting in pairs. Now we're going to go over some terminology. Even numbers are any number that ends in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Odd numbers are any number that ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Repeated addition means to add by the same number over and over. Pairs means one set of two things, such as socks, shoes, and gloves. The number of times you skip from the very beginning of the hundreds chart is called a factor, or a number that can be multiplied to get a certain product or number. So we're going to have some guided practice of adding and subtracting twos to reinforce the idea that numbers relate to each other and can be partitioned in a variety of ways. The first two addition statements are related to each other because their sum is 6. To demonstrate this, we're going to use 2 green blocks and 4 red blocks. Add them together and get 6 blocks. Alternatively, if we used 4 green blocks and 2 red blocks, we also get 6. For the subtraction statement, we have 8 blocks minus a pair, we get 6 blocks. So 6 is 2 more than 4 and 2 less than 8. If we have 10 blocks together and subtract 2 blocks, we have 8 blocks. Our last statement is related to the first two. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. If we had partitioned the 4 from the first statement into 2 pairs, 2 plus 2 plus 2, we still get the same answer. So 2 plus 4 is 6, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Next, I'm going to demonstrate some skip counting. And here we're going to reinforce the idea that skip counting helps develop an understanding of number relationships. And it also helps us to understand that there are patterns in numbers that can be discovered by counting in different ways. So I'm going to start filling in the chart and skip counting by 2. All the blank sections are going to be filled in. And as we get to the second row, we're going to see that there's also the repeated number above in each row. So as we go down each column, we can see that there's a pattern emerging. That each column has a corresponding similarity. So the first column we have 2s, second 4s, the third 6s, fourth 8, and the fifth 0 at the end. And we're going to see this continue all the way down the hundreds chart. Next, I'm going to demonstrate counting in pairs. And if we remember from our skip counting lesson, when we count in pairs, we're counting using even numbers. So I'm going to use this guide to help me count the following pairs. First sentence asks, how many wheels on each bike? So here I count 5 bikes, but there are 2 wheels on each bike. So counting the pairs, I can use my number chart to help me count the total number of wheels. So for 5 pairs, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will get a final answer of 10 wheels. The same follows for the second question, how many shoes? I have 6 pairs of shoes, so if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs, I'll end up with 12 shoes. And we will continue throughout using the same method. Now for the coin question, it's a little different because the valuation says 2. So the same principle will apply here by counting the pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we use the number line again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will give us an answer of 14. We've seen that we can use manipulatives to help us understand addition statements. We've also seen that putting numbers in different orders can also lead to the same sum. Here we had 2 blocks of red and 4 blocks of green to make a sum of 6. But when we changed it to 4 blocks and 2 blocks, we also got the same sum. And when we use repeated addition of adding pairs, we ended up with the same sum. So when we partitioned the blocks in different ways, we ended up with the same sum. We also saw that 6 is 2 less than 8, and 8 is 2 less than 10. Our second worksheet helped guide us in understanding that there are patterns in numbers that can be discovered by counting in different ways. Here we saw that there's even numbers in each open column where we added pairs together. These even numbers will always end in 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. When borrowing from our skip counting strategy, we were able to count objects in pairs using our number line.